As we take a detailed look at the CONCACAF contributions over at PSV. Been a great season for them. Looks like they're headed towards a league title, plus, of course, the Champions League success. You'll notice the guy at the bottom of that page, in terms of minutes played, is Ricardo Pepi, but his agent made some headlines. Herc with his comments. Here's what he had to say. Quote, "This season is not good enough for Ricardo. 10% of all playing time is, of course, far too little. He understands, is patient, and congratulates Luuk. But for himself, it is not enough. However, I have never met a player who was happy when he didn't play. If you play so little, you can also lose your place in the national team. With the Copa Americas this year and the World Cup in 2 years' time in your own country, there are two great tournaments coming up. Ricardo wants and needs to be there. That's why it can't continue like this." All right, Herc, which weekend DNP is a bigger worry for U.S. fans? Ricardo Pepi, who didn't play in the game against AZ, the club saying he was injured, or Tyler Adams, who missed the feat against Luton Town with back spasms?
Yeah, I'm not surprised by the Tyler Adams one. I don't think people should be. He hasn't played in over a year. He just took an 11-hour flight to Dallas to play in the Nations League semifinals and finals. Finally got his first minutes coming back. Muscle stiffness is going to be normal. That one doesn't worry me too much. I think the writing's on the wall there. Ricardo Pepi, I'm not too worried, but in light of these comments, I'm a little worried. Now, not as worried as his agent, and probably shouldn't be too surprised if I were his agent. Listen, Luuk de Jong may be, 35, 36 years old? He's 33.
Is he? He's 33.
All right.
He's 33.
Even more. Get worried. Even more. 33 years old. Luuk de Jong is much more than a goal scorer. By the way, he's second place right now in the Golden Boot running. He's one goal away from the league leader, 25 goals league leader. He's got 24 himself. He's much more than a goal scorer. He's also the top facilitator, assist leader in the league. He's the clear front runner for the MVP of not only his team, PSV, but the Eredivisie. And he's also the team captain. You're not going to move him. If you're Ricardo Pepi, who's done well in limited appearances and limited cameos, 2 starts, 9 goals, a couple assists, you've done well in those limited cameos, but that's not enough. You cannot live off those leftovers, especially with a Copa America coming up, especially with a World Cup coming up, especially with maybe the Olympics. Who knows? But you can't rely on that, especially with the increasing number 9 pool for the U.S. men's national team. You've got to be fit, you've got to be playing, and you've got to be productive at the club level, because that equity you have at the national team level, that's going to dry up. If Ricardo Pepi isn't playing, if Ricardo Pepi can't get minutes, if Ricardo Pepi can't be on the field to score those goals, and other guys are scoring those goals, a Haji Wright, a Josh Sargent, whoever the case may be, whether it's Fowler and Balogun, whoever it is, they will get those opportunities. So if you're Ricardo Pepi and his camp, you need to make a decision and make it soon, because the opportunities may not only dry up with the club level.
Yeah. So one, I think the agent speaking here can create a problem with the club. So just my one thought there is, obviously if the agent's saying this, it's probably not too far off from what Ricardo Pepi's thinking. But at this point in the season, this is not something that he's going to want to deal with going back into the dressing room. It is deeply concerning, man. The agent's probably not wrong when he says it's going to impact him on the national team. Luuk de Jong is 33, Herc. Listen to these numbers. 33 goals in 43 games played. That doesn't sound like a guy who's slowing down. So if I put the question to you this way, if Luuk de Jong is going to be the starter basically all season next year for PSV, and we know Peter Bosz does not like to rotate, right? Even when they're playing Champions League and league games, he still made Ricardo Pepi sit on that bench. He still almost refused to give him a single start. If that's going to be the case next season, should Pepi stay, or would you advise him to go?
You got to leave. Listen, it may have been a good bet to be at a club like PSV, the understudy to a player like Luuk de Jong. Maybe you didn't expect that Luuk de Jong would have this kind of season, but you're not moving him. And he's going to have enough equity, whatever happens at the end of this season, towards next season, where they're going to keep him on the field to see if he can duplicate that, because he's been that good. He's been the MVP of the Eredivisie. So you're not moving him. You've got to go somewhere you can play. If you've got hopes of playing Copa America, you got hopes of playing in the World Cup, you have to be on the field. And I think Ricardo Pepi and his camp know that. And I agree with you. This is a dangerous game they're playing, but they're trying to get the attention of the club. They're trying to get the attention of other clubs. And that's why they're doing it.
I wonder if this is the same agent that sent him to Augsburg. Because if I'm Ricardo Pepi, and the guy sent me to Augsburg, and then sent me to PSV when we knew Luuk de Jong was going to be there, and now is talking, before my next move, I'm just saying, maybe Herculez wants somebody else in charge of looking for your next destination. Because at this point with Ricardo Pepi, we're missing a lot, and young players can't afford that.
Listen, man, that's the problem with being at a big club. You're going to have big players. He's got to go somewhere he can play. He's proven that he can score goals at that level. Maybe he stays in Eredivisie with a different club. But PSV, you're not going to get time there. Certainly not going to be the guy there. Not right now.